Hey guys, so I had someone ask me a question about the adding and subtracting the mixed numbers. So I'm going to just do a really quick little lesson on adding mixed numbers, and then I'll add another one about subtracting mixed numbers. Adding mixed numbers is a little bit easier than subtracting mixed numbers because you never have to regroup. But in the same respect, you do have to change your improper fractions to mixed numbers, and that makes it it adds one more step than what you would have if there wasn't an improper fraction. So I'm going to give you an example here. So we have 5 and 5/6 plus 2 and 2/6. Okay, we start just like a regular addition problem. We're going to start from the right and move to the left, which means we're going to add the fractions first, then we're going to add the whole numbers. So here I'm going to add my 5/6 plus 2/6. We add the numerators, the top numbers, 5 plus 2, that equals 7. Okay, and our denominator always stays the same. So my denominator here is 6, so still 6. Now I'm going to add my wholes together. Okay, now I just add 5 plus 2. Well, that equals 7. So now I have 7 and 7/6. But remember that 7/6 is an improper fraction because 7 is bigger than 6. The top number always needs to be smaller than the bottom number. So right here we have an improper fraction. 6/6 would be a whole. So we have too many. We have actually just one more than a whole here. So to change this to an improper fraction, what I'm going to do, or change this improper fraction to a mixed number, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the top and bottom numbers, and that's going to give me a whole number, and then I'm going to find a fraction. I'll show you how. So I'm going to divide 7 by 6. So when I do that, I'm going to do 6 divided by 7. So what can I multiply times 6 to get close to 7? Well, that's 1. Because 1 times 6 equals 6. And now I'm going to subtract. And I'm going to be left with 1. Okay, so 1 is my remainder. So I'm going to make that be my numerator, and my denominator is still going to be the same. So whatever your remainder is, that is the top number of your new fraction. So now I have this 1 and 1/6. So 7/6 is equal to 1 and 1/6, which means that I have this whole here that I need to add back to my wholes, because this 7 here is representing, this 7 right here is representing how many wholes I have. Well, I have 7 when I just add the 5 plus 2, but now I have 8 because I have this one whole that I got from my mixed number. So I'm going to add that. 7 plus 1 equals 8. Then I'm going to use my new fraction part, this little part right here, as my new fraction. So it's going to be 8 and 1/6 as my answer. Okay, I'm going to do one more without explaining it quite so much, just so you have another example. So let's see. Okay, so if I took 2 and 3/5 and I added 4 and 4/5. When I add this together, I'm going to start with my fraction. So 3/5 plus 4/5 equals 7/5. And then I'm going to add my fractions, or my whole numbers. So 2 plus 4 equals 6. So now I have 6 and 7/5. 7/5 is an improper fraction, so I need to change that to a mixed number. So I'm going to divide 7 and 5. All right, so now I ask myself, what could I multiply times 5 to get close to 7? Well, that's 1. Now, it's not always 1, but in these two examples it is. It might be 2 or 3, but this is 1, so we're going to do 5 times 1 equals 5, and when I subtract to get my remainder, I have 7 minus 5, it's 2. So remember that your remainder goes on top, and your denominator is still the same, so it's still 5. So now that mixed number is 1 2/5. So I need to add that whole back to the wholes that I already have, and I already have 6. So now I have 7 wholes, and this new fraction, which is 2/5. So 7 2/5. If you have any questions about that, feel free to comment on this video.